and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Meeting of the Park Board of City of Connersville, Indiana is now in session. Please turn your cell phones ringers off. Have roll call.
Jen Conaway.
Here.
Jack Cooley.
Here.
Kenny Burgess.
Here.
Sharon McQueen.
Here.
Tom Powers.
Here. Okay. I have the reading of the minutes of the October 22nd and November 7th meeting.
Anybody have any questions or changes that need to be made? Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
A motion to approve the minutes. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Okay, we have the superintendent's report.
For the month of October, our revenue was $9,554.25, which brings our yearly total to $216,952.24. And then our appropriations for the month of October were $55,385.76. Coming up for December, we have our Santa in the Park event, which will be December 15th. It's a Saturday from 5 to 8 p.m. We'll have everything that we had last year. We'll have Santa in the banquet hall available for kids to come visit and take pictures. And then the gym, we will have our ornament decorating, hot chocolate and cookies. And then this year, Reed has approached us and they wanted to partner with us, and they do a program where they give away shoes at Christmas time. So they will be there giving shoes away to the children that are there if they want them. And then we will also have our carriage rides, which will take place from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.
It's on the 15th.
It's on the 15th. So if you all would like to attend, I'm sure we will need help with making hot chocolate. And
What time?
it's 5 o'clock, so if you could be there around 4:30 or so, that would be great.
Do you have music?
Do you want?
I could talk to Mr. I'm gonna check my calendar real
December
quick.
15th.
I'm gonna talk to Mr. Thompson about getting the CHS, either the what, you could, we have
Something light.
jazz band, woodwind choir, or brass choir.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great.
I'll check.
Okay, I have a motion, need a motion for accepting the superintendent's report as read.
So moved.
Got a motion, need a second?
I'll second.
Got a motion, has been seconded. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Trail grant.
The trail committee, which Kenny is on, we have been working quite a bit on trying to figure out where to go with the next phase of the trail. And we think we finally found a good option. The problem is we need money. So we are applying for a grant through the foundation for the first phase of this trail, which would be just applying for gravel, getting it down, and getting it solid before we go for the next phase, and that would be paving it. This phase would go along Lick Creek, so it would head back towards Waterloo Road. We'd stop just shy of Flum's property, which is right next to Waterloo Road, and head south onto Erie Avenue. It's on the hospital property. I think it would add, another 3/4 of a mile, so it would basically double what we have, which would make, a nice little loop where people can go all the way down, come across, and come back onto Erie, and then either head north or do that loop again, or whatever they so choose. So I needed permission from you all to move forward with this grant, and also I know the likelihood of us getting grant money from the foundation or anywhere is a lot higher when we have something that we're putting in. We have the labor that we'll be putting in ourselves, you know, obviously IMI or whoever will be bringing the rock, but we will be the ones to spread it. But besides that, Steve had us estimated at around $23,000 just for the gravel. So I didn't know if you all wanted to maybe put a little money from our budget towards this, just, you know, showing that, you know, we're putting some monetary things out there too. We're not just asking. I went through the budget and looked at some areas where we had some money left, such as like pool employees, concessions, that kind of stuff. Where some other items where I think we have, you know, more than enough to cover us for the end of the year. And right now it's looking like we'll have around $15,000 out of those accounts that I've looked at. I'm not saying all of that money, but I mean, I think we can do something, so it's kind of up to you all, the amount.
What kind of money are you gonna ask for in the grant?
Just what,
Just what we need to make up the difference?
yes. So if we were to give, you know, 5,000 out of our budget, I'd ask for the remainder, so about 18 or so.
Which we'll need paving done eventually. But
Yes.
the gravel will need to sit anyway and pack for a while, so, that's, you know, that we wouldn't be doing that right now anyway. We were hoping to get it down before winter time originally, that way it'd be able to use all winter to pack down, but I don't see that happening now.
But you never know, we could get some warm days. Well, if they do award the grant to us, I think we'll know hopefully fairly soon, at least before the end of the year. That way we're able to use the money we have now before it kind of goes away, you know?
Did they ever say when we would know?
No,
I didn't think so.
no.
Is it grant cycles or just a different,
It's
The board decided to,
out
out
of
of
cycle
cycle, give us a chance for an out of cycle grant. And then we'll probably go back, I think in January is when the letter of intent is due for the next grant cycle. So we kind of wanted to do this and kind of get the ball rolling on it, so.
What do you feel comfortable? What's the number you feel like we can?
I would
If we
say
would do
anywhere
this.
between like 5 and 10. I mean, I think 10 would be great, but, you know, we have some other stuff coming up too. Or we're gonna need some extra money. I know for excavating out the ballparks, so we could get that project going, we had to make some serious cuts to that budget. And in doing that, Steve Dunsel said that he would be willing to go out there, you know, on park time and do the excavating out there, but we would have to rent a bulldozer, which that's gonna cost quite a bit of money, which we've kinda talked about already, so that would leave us, I think, with enough money to pay for that and then a little more. And I'm sure there's some money in there where we're, you know, I'm not, you know, saying we'll have $0 left at the end of the
Right.
year, but
Right, but that makes sense.
I think with us doing all the labor, that's a huge amount that we're
Say-
donating, if you wanna call it already, you know.
like
to
an
me.
in-kind sort of donation.
Yeah.
We need to decide how much.
Are we need to build picnic tables yet for next year?
We have the lumber purchased. I think they've built around,
So that's already paid for?
yes, that's coming out of this meeting.
Okay.
The Fair Board actually donated around $1,900 for lumber. And then, so we have enough to build right around 50 picnic tables. So,
And that's, Steve went to them.
yeah, he approached Ted.
And
Ted and I were
banked it.
sitting there meeting and Steve was there and he said, hey, how about you give us some money for some picnic tables?
So you
And
don't
he was
get
like,
it,
huh?
you know. Steve's great at doing that. If you don't ask, you don't get it, and, he'll ask, won't he?
Yeah.
He'll ask.
And they acted like, you know, that more than likely won't be the last time that they'll
Right.
give us some money.
Yeah, I
for
wanted
that,
to give
so,
them a lot of credit for that. I
Yeah.
had that on my list.
Yeah.
I appreciate
So.
that. See, I was hoping we could get some trees this fall. You know, we had to cut down a lot of dead trees that were dying. I was hoping we could get some trees. The, even Christmas cutouts that everybody loves, that Steve does for Christmas time. It'd be nice in the wintertime to have that for them to do when they're stuck inside, that they have the lumber. So I hate to not have money for them for that.
Which I think between now and the end of the year, they'll probably be pretty busy, you know, getting
Yeah.
picnic tables done, and that can be something we can take out of next year's.
Yeah, I know, it's only another month, but
Yeah. So,
These other things that's on the work list, none of that is accountable, yeah, you know, anything out of that money that you're talking about that we have that access.
it just seems like now a lot of money, we're spending a lot of money on the sports complex and trails and things that we didn't really expect to be honest, it wasn't in our budget. You know, it's great that we're gonna put in a sports complex, but when we have to keep finding money for, you know, bulldozers and stuff, which is, you know, just makes it harder on us. So how much do you think we could get by with doing that? What would you suggest? $5,000 enough, or?
I think so. I'd say like 5 or 8, you know, just to make it, we had 8, that we would be asking them for $15,000. And make it an even number. And I think that would give us plenty to get some trees and bulldozer and all that stuff, so. If you wanna do 5, that's fine too. I think anything we do, I think would help greatly, so.
Because we're gonna come right back in January and we can do the same thing.
Any more discussion? Anybody want to entertain a motion for 5,000?
I would move that we go ahead with 8,000,
Okay.
the way Jessica's talking, that's,
Okay.
seems reasonable to me.
We got a motion for 8,000. Have a second.
I'll second it.
Been motion and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Old business. Work list.
This week we are finishing up with the Christmas lights in the park. Last week we started working on it, well, actually the week before, and then the ice storm happened, and then we kinda had to rearrange some things just to get the roads cleared in the park and everything, so. Once we get the, lights all hung up and all the Christmas stuff out, then we'll go back to cleaning up everything else in the park from the ice storm damage. And then, yeah, I mean, they're just gonna be busy building picnic tables, and Steve will hopefully be out, with the River's Edge Sports Park and starting that soon, so. I will be emailing you both the options. We finally have something of a layout where it's, you know, it's either gonna be this or this, and we need to make a decision. So what I'll do is I'll email that all to you guys, and you can kinda look over it, and then let me know your opinions on it. Since we're having solar panels out there now, there was some concerns with the location of them and outfields. So if anyone would ever hit a home run or anything like that, it could damage, the solar panels, or people purposefully going out there and throwing a ball or hitting a ball or something like that. So, they gave us Prince Alexander gave us a couple of different options that we could do. So I'll send them your way. He just sent them to us late today, so, I'll send them your way tomorrow, and you guys can look over them, and we'll go from there, but
When does he need to know?
as soon as we give him an answer, they'll come out and stake it where everything's gonna be, and then we'll get moving on the earthwork, so. Kinda our decision is what's holding things up, and I'm gonna discuss it with Harold. He was in a bit today, but I didn't get to see him to tell him about it, but I think he got I'm not sure if he got the email or not, but I know Rosemary did, so, see what he thinks about it too, but yeah, other than that,
So I'm sure you're talking with the foundation about that too.
I haven't.
And
Did
we
you
probably
get a
oughta,
bulldozer?
we probably oughta.
Did I what?
Did you get a bulldozer?
I talked to the gentleman that you referred me to, and he said he'd really rather not do that. So I think we're just gonna have to rent it from McAllister's out of Indianapolis. I guess they don't rent it out of Richmond, bulldoze heavy equipment like that, so.
See, with the backhoe, and I talked to Steve about that, if we could get by with, if we can buy a backhoe, you know, however it's done, the city helped it, however, we're gonna be using a backhoe all the time, and for us to try to rent one, or try to beg and borrow and whatever to get one, he needs one for the trail. As soon as this part of the trail's done, hopefully there'll be the next part of the trail, and the next part of the trail, and it's just, it's always gonna be there's always a use for that. And I would love for us to dig into it to see if there's a way we can find a way to buy a backhoe instead of renting a bulldozer and renting a backhoe all the time and trying to find one, you know. We can keep Steve from breaking the windows out of them.
That would be helpful.
Yeah. But, you know, I just, renting, it's.
I know
mean,
for this project, I think we specifically need a bulldozer and how we have to grade it and everything like that, so, from what I'm told, so. But yeah, a backhoe would come in handy, for sure.
I think it looks really good, all these pink colors all over your workplace. It's getting really getting
It's
covered
getting
up.
there a
It's
little
getting
bit,
there.
yeah. Pretty soon we'll have to change it tonight, Tim, so.
Anybody else got anything else on the work list? Move on to the stump removal quote.
So, if anyone's been to the park, you can see that there are a bunch of trees down. They got them down pretty quickly. They did a good job. None of them, however, were,
Salvageable.
no, they were pretty much all rotten. And
We need to let people know, and I've had people comment about cutting all these trees down, and
They are dead
they're all
trees.
dead trees. They
They're all
needed-
dangerous. They
right,
need to come
and
down.
most of them were ash beetle
Yeah.
has killed them, so. But, yeah, they were some huge trees, and I hated to see them go, but they were dead, or real close to dead, so
Yeah.
now we need to replace them.
Yep. So if anyone would like to donate, it's $100, and we'll donate a tree, and
And we-
your
another-
honor or someone else's honor.
Another
or
thing is,
whatever.
we need to make sure we don't wanna plant, Bradford pear, things
Yes.
like that in the park. We need to have native trees go back in there, because it's like you're cleaning up all the Bradford pears that have been in the park here recently from
Yeah.
the ice storm, because they break real easy, so,
They're real brittle.
yeah.
So the quote was $1,100 to remove the 17 stumps. Right now, in our other contractual services, we've got $2284.54, which, I mean, that would be half of that. Which, see, this month we obviously spent a little bit more because we had to pay for them to remove the trees.
Yeah.
But we won't spend all of that next month, so.
Is that quote $1,100 off of the $2,550, which leaves $1,450?
No,
The way I'm
it's
reading
four,
Get it
it's,
backwards.
yeah, it's $1,450 off of the $2,550, which leaves us with $1,100.
Okay, I was curious about that.
Yeah, me too.
The math was.
The math didn't work
Yeah, no,
right.
it didn't
Yeah.
work right.
We've got that in the budget.
Yes.
That's what it says, discounted, because of the city's
To the city,
discount, that's
yeah.
what they discounted.
Yeah, they gave us a good deal.
Yeah.
So what account is it coming out of again?
It would be, other contractual services.
I moved to spend $1,100 out of other contractual services for stump removal.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Miscellaneous business. Next.
What was it?
Miscellaneous. Does
Um,
anybody have anything?
Yeah, I do. I'm like Dave, only with this stuff.
That kinda crossed my mind, Ken.
I'm proud of it too. Getting the agenda earlier this week, I love.
Okay.
So I would like to, for us, if possible, to get the agenda, like, try to get it at least a week before our close to a week, well, on Monday. Let's see, we have it on Monday, so.
The
Prior,
Previous Monday.
yeah, we get it on Friday now, right?
Well, this week you got it on Wednesday.
Yeah,
but
so I'd like to at least get it by Wednesday. Is
Okay.
that possible?
we could sure try.
Is that possible? I guess
I
it is.
guess it
you
is,
said.
it is possible.
Okay,
It's just a matter of when we get claims, and if we get them all in time, cause we have to bring them down to City Hall, and then she has to do all this stuff, so.
it just, I think we need a little bit more time
Okay.
to do our job right, so
Okay.
it helps a lot. The picnic table thing again, I guess, again, I wanna thank the Fair Board for that, because they didn't have to do that. We talked one time about a yearly evaluation or performance review of employees. Is there any way we can do that at the end of the year? I mean, not a bad thing, or it's just a good thing to, that's something to think about. I think Jen, we had talked about that one time. Hang on. There's a lot of lights on in the park. I keep going through the park at night, and it seems like it's really lit up. Do you know what?
I think it's a timer issue on the basketball courts. It should be the only.
Okay, and I know the pickleball courts, they're lit up all the time.
It's, yeah,
and,
it's all the time.
Just because it's set that way, which I know we're losing a lot of electric both ways. So the basketball court, then we're gonna try to get it fixed?
Yep.
Or? Okay. The tree limbs in the park, we should have had that cleaned up a long time. There's trees that were hanging. There was one that was real dangerous.
I've contacted Gary Lohr about that, and he said as soon as the ground freezes up, they'll come to take care of it.
Okay, but it's like we got trees all over the park yet that are down, and it's been a long time, so. The chairs and the umbrellas at the pool, those haven't been put up yet, have they?
Most of the chairs have been. The umbrellas, we have to wait till we get the bucket truck to take those down. And, we're just gonna wait and do that when we were putting the lights up, cause we have to get that too.
I just
Put
know
the lights
usually, last year they were up all keep talking about Steve doing all this labor stuff, and he didn't have to do that. He could just say, no, I'm a union employee, I don't have to do that. And we talked about hiring another employee. We were talking about that at one time, weren't we? A full-time employee. Earlier in the year, we were gonna hire a part-time
Part-time.
employee. Then we talked about skilled labor position. Do we need to talk to the union before? You know, we talked about even talking with Harold, that has to go through the union.
And it would
I
have
know
to
that
go through-
negotiations are kinda open right now, is that right? Or-
From what I understand, the city has received a letter from the union wanting to open the contract up for wages and benefits. And they're still waiting to try and set up that meeting. If it will happen, I don't know. That's up to the city council negotiating committee. So that's kind of where that's at right now. I did get to speak with Harold about that. And he said it's really in their hands. He said we are more than welcome to go talk to them about it,
To them?
to the committee, the city council negotiating committee, and just tell them what we think or why, or, you know, just about all of it. He did tell me that, because next year the union contract is up in 2020. He said so he would like to have one of the park board members as a part of the negotiating team, which, I mean, would be probably, I would think, next summer, since budgets and everything have to be turned in so early. But he said he would definitely keep us in the loop with all of that, so.
So,
But-
so could maybe me and you go talk to them about that position, or
Yeah.
that? Okay, I'd appreciate that,
Yep.
that'd be good. I don't know who's even on there anymore.
I believe it's Gabe Nobby,
Yeah.
Diana Phillips, and Debbie Montgomery are the
Oh.
three.
Okay, that'd be good. I tried to talk at our last meeting, and I couldn't, about the board member. You know, here our trail committee's doing really well right now. We're really, seem to be getting someplace, but, like the sports and rec, we need to have a committee for sports and rec, I think, to where they meet every so often, just to, you know, to make sure things are going well that way. And what else? Somebody to coordinate events, that would be good. And I just think it would be good to have extracurricular, instead of just meeting once a month. For me, it's just hard to come in here once a month and get a lot done when it comes to that stuff.
And I believe Jen has been working on getting a sports and rec committee together.
Good.
We plan on doing something after the first of the year, right?
I was thinking, or over Christmas
Over
break.
Christmas break, that's right.
Well-
Sometime towards the end of the year.
Probably that first week where school is still on break, because we don't go back until the 8th.
Yeah.
And then the covered bridge, there should be something for, we talked about that a long time ago, about the covered bridge. Just seems to, it's one of those things that gets put on the back burner because it just sits there and it's, you know, not falling in, but it's starting to. So we need to, I wanna get involved in that, so if you can help us get that started and help us, anybody that has any idea who would wanna be on that,
I know I'm supposed to start going to the
the historic.
historic preservation meetings, but they haven't had one since I've been invited, so I think there's one in December, right?
Yeah,
Coming up.
cancel this one because we didn't.
Didn't have a
any-
quorum, right?
No, we didn't have anything to talk about.
Or nothing on the agenda, that's right. So when they have this next meeting, I will gladly ask any of them if they wanna be on that committee or could share any insight or anything like that, so.
Okay. I think there'd be a lot of people that would wanna be involved
Oh,
in
yeah,
that,
I'm sure.
really. Right now it'd be hard, but the trail cameras, we never got the trail cameras up, did we?
No,
As soon as it gets warm, we need to
Yeah.
get those up. There's
I
not a
think
lot-
we're gonna have to put them on a post and not in a tree,
Really?
just
Because of the leaves? No.
that, and I think Steve shared some concern about people, if we can put them up higher, that way it's harder for them to get to, that kind of thing.
put more cameras to watch our
Watch the
cameras.
cameras.
The boulders that I brought up here and, for the amphitheater, you got a few calls on that, right?
A couple.
And so they've got boulders, but we still
Yes.
haven't went and got the boulders or.
I haven't gone to get them, no.
Okay, we need to follow up on that
Yep.
because they were nice enough to call and, we don't wanna lose them either, so. Sometime we have to update the 5-year plan. We're supposed to do that every year and we haven't done it yet. So, I've brought that up before. Anybody can see that online too, on the,
ConnersvilleCommunity.com.
website, yeah.
I think we're all kind of looking at that. The city, county, Discover Connersville, the Purdue thing and everything, we're all kind of looking to get that whole thing redone,
The,
hopefully through a grant.
the windows at the Miller Building,
Mhm.
we haven't got those put in yet, or
Yeah.
either. They are
At the Miller Building?
The arch one.
Mhm.
I didn't know that. When did that happen?
They,
Couple months ago.
Really?
yeah. Mhm.
Well, good deal.
Yeah.
That was under warranty too, wasn't it, or part
The
warranty?
the glass was under warranty, we had to pay for the labor, which was like $1,800, but it's done,
Yeah,
and,
well, good. That'll help us during the winter too for,
yeah.
the windows at the Roberts Building, which
Mhm.
we talked a little bit about that today.
Yes. The goal is to get them sealed up, that way there's no cold air coming in.
The windows themselves are fine.
Yes.
It's just around the windows.
Yeah.
They're starting to rot, the
Yeah.
sills are rotten
And they could use a paint job,
Right.
so,
um,
but obviously when it's warmer, that will.
Yeah, we're doing a good fight now.
No, not really.
And the last thing is, our guys at the park use their own phones. And it just, nobody's asked me or anything, but it seems like it's, some people have, like our new sports rec guy, he's got a phone from us that we pay for. But yet, like the 3 guys, they don't. I just don't understand that. I hear Randall, he pays for every text that he gets, and it's just, so, have they ever talked to you about that, I don't know if they have
About
or
Randall's
not.
texting?
Yeah, I don't know if they ever have or not, it just seems unfair that some people have phones and they don't,
Well, then, I mean, I could see where other city departments would be like, well, then we all need to have our phones paid for too.
Well, I just know
I'm
that,
thinking just because it's union.
what do you mean by that? I'm sorry, I just don't.
I don't wanna get in any kind of problems
Oh, I
with
know what you mean.
giving them phones and then other union.
I don't necessarily want to,
City not.
I guess I do, but I know Steve uses his phone all the time for getting quotes and doing all that kind of stuff, so I just didn't know. It's no big deal, but I just, I didn't know if it was just, oversight or what, but, okay.
No, I don't know why they do the phones the way they do, that's just,
Okay.
that would be a council, mayor, Rosemary kind of thing.
Okay.
I can ask, but I just know department heads or
Well, they might
directors
not
get
want
on.
I don't know.
That's true, they may not want one.
But-
I know you had asked
But
about
Jen might be right, it might be this is.
the laptop thing, and I'm actually getting a new laptop because mine's like, I think it's just overloaded with
So
things.
you're gonna give them your junk one, right?
Maybe,
That's
it's
fine.
free.
That'd work
But Michael
fine,
said
yeah.
he'd clean it all up and it'll probably speed it up a little bit, but
Yeah.
it'd be better than nothing,
See,
so.
maybe that would be enough, what I'm talking about, they wouldn't have to use their phones if they've got a laptop over there, they can be looking up.
And there is a
lumber
phone in the
prices.
garage that they're more than welcome to use. I know it gets a little loud in there sometimes when they're working and sawing on stuff, but they like to go outside and
Wouldn't it
talk,
kind of be
but-
cheaper with the radios instead of phone, where you could talk to them?
I think he's talking about like when the guys like call another person like to get a quote on, say, renting a bulldozer or something like that, so.
claims, including payroll.
Do you have any questions about any of them? Nobody?
I move we accept the claims,
Including payroll.
including payroll as
Chicken.
presented. Thank you, Sharon. You should have said that.
I'll second.
Well, we got a motion, been seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. I don't think there's anybody out there.
I could hear it
Do you have
clicking, but
anything?
it just wasn't connecting.
Not today.
Well, I guess I entertain a motion.
I move that we adjourn.
I'll second.
Been motion and carried, seconded, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, meeting adjourned.